We are at Aerospace Bristol, which is a museum in Filton. As you can probably tell from the name of it, it's an airplane museum based on the old Filton airfield.
It was an airport, yeah.
Yeah, where Tim thinks that the main Bristol airport should be, but it's a bit late now.
There was also, obviously, there was a big Airbus and Rolls-Royce factory as well across the way.
Just down there.
You do need to spin the camera around if you're going to do that.
Hang on.
Need it.
So they're just down here. It's looking a bit of a mess at the moment, but that's because YTL are building the arena.
And a massive housing development.
There's Airbus down there. So yeah, this is quite a special place for us. This is where, well, obviously not here, down here, which is where Concorde is where we had our wedding reception 6.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So come and join us as we do a bit of a tour around the museum.
Yeah.
So it's £20 for an adult, but that ticket lasts you all year, so we don't have to do everything today.
And there's quite a lot here. It's not just a Concorde, there is a collection of other aircraft that we've got here, as well as telling you about the history of aviation in Bristol.
So they started building aeroplanes in Bristol in 1910. Bristol box kite in 1910. It was powered by this engine. Another Bristol aeroplane, the Bristol Concorde monoplane in 1912. Tim, how fast does Concorde go?
Sorry?
How fast was Concorde?
Speed of sound and a bit low.
So the Concorde monoplane had a top speed of 73 miles per hour.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out in a minute what top speed of Concorde was.
A lot faster.
A lot faster. So this one's the Bristol Scout. It was designed for the war effort in 1914, and they quickly realised that they needed guns on the airplanes. So this is the F2B fighter from 1916, which does include 2 seats and also a gun on the back. So this plane up here is a replica of the Bristol Babe. There were only 3 built because there was lots of concerns about reliability and them crashing all the time. I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to go up in that. Would you?
I don't think I'd want to go up in any of them, to be honest.
And this is a Bristol lorry, which was built not far from where we live, in Brislington. Model of a Bristol Type 26 Pullman, which was the first aircraft to have an enclosed cabin and for both the passengers and the crew. It was quite comfortable, Tim.
Sorry?
It was quite comfortable.
Yeah.
This is the Jupiter, which is Bristol's first aero engine. The Bristol Bombay Troop Carrier and light bomber used for early training of the Special Air Service. So before the Second World War, Germany was already interested in Filton, the Bristol Airplane Company. So from 1936, there's evidence that they were already investigating, and Filton was the largest aircraft manufacturing facility in the world at the time. These are some of the maps from the Luftwaffe of the area. So Filton was heavily targeted. So the first blitz was the 19th, 20th of June in 1940. And between June 1940 and May 1944, the air raid siren, of which this is one of, sounded 561 times. All Bristol planes from World War II, so the Bristol Beaufighter, Bristol Beaufort, and the Bristol Blenheim Mark IV. Here's one of the roof beams, which was damaged during Blitz. And an unexploded bomb. And a wreckage of a plane, the Blenheim Mark IV, which crashed on 5th of July 1942, killed all 3 of the crew. This is a Pegasus Mark II engine. This is a nose section from a Beaufighter Mark IIF. We've gone right up in speed now. This is a max speed of 330 miles an hour. Engines are getting a lot bigger now and a lot more pistons. This is a Bristol Centurious Mark IV engine. It was built in the underground factory in Caution in 1944. Bristol Sycamore helicopter. Tim doesn't understand helicopters.
No.
They don't make sense, do they, love?
No, they don't.
Much prefer to be in an aeroplane.
Yes.
So the Sycamore was the first, and this is the first twin rotator?
It's a
Twin rotator helicopter.
We've got two rotors front and back. A bit like
Two
a
rotors.
but previous.
So after the war, they needed to find new ways to use their technology. So there's a hovercraft, and well, I don't think these are real. I think these are just models, because there's a flying car here as well, and also a boat. So this is the Alpha dinghy, made of fiberglass.
The new technologies, because obviously use of plastics and things like that were all. It's all fairly new post-war.
Starting to get some proper sized tires rather than bicycle tires, as Tim has just said. So this is from the Bristol Brabazon, which there was only one of. It was a prototype. It was labelled as the Queen Mary of the Skies, and it was a massive development. It doesn't actually say anywhere why. Oh, it failed to sell, so the second prototype was cut and used for scrap. This is the Proteus engine. It was built in Bristol, and it was the first successful gas turbine design in Bristol. So we're now getting to proper post-war. So this was the fight for passenger travel. So this is the Bristol Britannia. There's a lot of competition from America by this point. But this was a quiet and economical plane, nicknamed the Whispering Giant. This is the inside of the Britannia. Seats are a lot bigger than Ryanair, aren't they? Proper navigator with a map.
Yeah, there probably would have been at least 4 flight crew on this, because there would have been a flight engineer, first officer, co-pilot, and a navigator.
This is a jet engine, so it's an Orpheus gas turbine engine. Well, it's been 1952. So moving away from pistons now. It's the Harrier jump jet, and this had a top speed of 736 miles per hour, and as Tim's just pointed out, this is the gap where the engine would have been, and it's absolutely
So
massive.
the engine actually, it's one engine, but it'll have a vent, similar vent on the other side as well. Also, the Harrier jump jet was vertical takeoff and landing, so it did have, it could reroute the jets down, so it could actually almost hover.
Wow. So this was used during the Gulf War. Here is the engine from the Harrier. So this is a Pegasus 5 STOL engine. And as Tom was saying, there's vertical takeoff and landing with this engine. This is a turbofan gas turbine engine. This shows how it works. Lots of these little activities are in the museum. This one is a create your own perfect passenger jet. So we've removed our economy seating and we're going just for first class, a ballroom, a games room, a restaurant, a cocktail bar, some sleeper beds. Sounds nice, doesn't it? If only it was as cheap as economy as well. Mark II Bristol Bloodhound missile. It's an anti-aircraft missile. It's used between 58 and 91. So during the Cold War, Filton was used more for guided weapons rather than the development of planes. These engines are just getting bigger. So this is an Olympus 593 turbojet gas turbine engine from 1966. Absolutely massive. So there's two sections of the fuselage of the BAE 146A liner here. By this time, so this was in production until 2003, made in the 80s. Only parts of the aircraft were made here. So only the central section of the fuselage was made at Filton. Here's cross section. Looks fairly similar to what we have today. So this is from the Airbus A320, starting to look at how comparing wings to birds and how the shape of a bird's wing can change to help them fly more efficiently. So creating airplane wings that change. Oh, this isn't a 320, this is a 319.
It's the same way.
It's apparently the same way. It's confusing, they've got a model of a 320 there.
The 319, the 320 and the 321 are all essentially the same aircraft, but they just get bigger.
Okay. This is definitely the highlight of the museum, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, definitely.
And why is this the highlight?
Because we got married here. Well,
Oh, we did
had a
it.
reception here.
We had a wedding reception here. So this is very special to us. We haven't been here for
6.5 years, yeah.
So, yeah, we are here at Aerospace. Here is Concorde. We're going to go in. The flying on Concorde was very much a luxury experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was all offered as like a business class.
You definitely don't have Ryanair style economy on Concorde, do you? There's a custom-made cushion for the Queen. So these are seats. It really is a tiny little window, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
They've been the original seats.
so these are the original. Oh, I think those ones are the original.
Sorry?
I think it's going through the ages, look.
Yeah.
Even seeing it, though it seems luxury for us, for people in that day, it was actually quite cramped and not that luxury. So this is saying that anyone who was used to travelling first class prior to this, it was more of a, we need to get somewhere quick.
Yeah.
Because London to New York, 3 hours 20 minutes. What's the fastest you've done it on a 747?
Sorry?
What's the fastest you've done it that way on a
New
747?
York, you struggle to do it in 6 hours mostly these days.
How long for you to get back? Was that one time?
Oh, from Boston,
Oh, it was
it was
Boston.
4 hours and 50 minutes, but Boston's a fair bit closer, and that was quite unique. It was no traffic.
You can't get in the flight deck anymore. We struggled on our wedding day to get Ivy out of the flight deck, our niece. She just decided it was hers, didn't she? And just...
I think that's an experience they offer for groups.
Probably.
I don't think it's...
So this is the training for the fuel management panel. So how many fuel tanks did you say?
I think
it
it's
had?
got 13 fuel tanks, so
And what's a standard jet now got?
6 or 7 maximum.
So the windows were so tiny because whilst travelling at supersonic speed, there was a risk of breakage, which is why they only had tiny windows. So obviously everybody knows that Concorde is a very different shape to a standard modern airplane.
Delta.
So the whole shape was to cope with supersonic speeds and to create supersonic speeds. Concorde testing in a wind tunnel. So as airplanes moved to different bases, multiple parts were built across the world. So 40% fuselage and wing, and 60% of the power plant were from Britain. And the first British prototype, Concorde, made its maiden flight from Filton on 9th of April 1969. And the last ever Concorde to fly is the one that is here, and that returned to Filton in 2003.
So Concorde doesn't have any elevator panels on its tail. It's only got a vertical stabilizer or a rudder, because the Delta wing did all the lift and the pitch angle on the back. Sorry?
What did you just say?
What did I just say? I said, yeah, so we used to do all the trimming using panels on the back of the wings here. And rather than the tail, there's a little tail gear. We used to take off quite a lot higher speed than traditional sort of like modern jet would.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, taking off in the 200 mile an hour range rather than around about 140, 150, 160.
So the engine was developed with a French company called Snecma, who then developed the engines with Rolls-Royce. So the Olympus 593. The Concorde had 4 of these humongous Rolls-Royce Olympus engines. It's the world's only supersonic airline. New York to London in 2 hours, 52 minutes and 59 seconds. That's its last flight. It did a fly over Bristol. You can see there's hundreds of people on the suspension bridge. I was still in primary school and we went out in the playground to watch it fly over and still remember it. So we're back in the car because it's really cold and windy because it's the 2nd of February. But that was a really good experience.
Yeah, it was nice to go around there, good few hours.
Yeah, so there's lots to see and do in the museum. We didn't do any of the children's activities, so maybe the next time we get a punch card
Yeah,
and we do the children's activities. There's lots of hands-on. And then obviously Concorde as well, which is the main feature of the museum. So we will probably come back at some point within the next year, maybe on our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Okay, bye bye.